Hello everybody, just going to finish off our little chats about Vivaldi's Four Seasons. Chat number 4, obviously to do with Winter, Vivaldi's only surviving violin concerto. There may have been others, we don't know, in the key of F minor. One of the reasons why he avoids keys such as F minor, either with lots of flats or with lots of sharps, is because the kind of temperaments that he was using, the tuning systems, meant that it only worked really well when you're dealing with not too many flats or sharps. The more extreme you go in both directions, the more problems that you have with chords that don't really work very well. Obviously, the seasons can be viewed as a cycle, because after winter you get spring again, and so you might be forgiven for thinking, well, if he writes spring in E major, why does he therefore write winter in a key which is so, you got start with 4 sharps, finish with 4 flats. It's about as wide as you can get in Vivaldi. But if he's going back to spring again, you know, why is winter so kind of far removed from spring? The reason being, in Vivaldi's day, didn't really think of it in terms of a cycle. It was more related to like the ages of man. Depending on which artists or which authors you read, there you can have various different numbers of ages of man. Typically you can have 4, so we would have childhood, youth, middle age, old age. And so old age is winter, and often depicted a really sort of gnarled, wrinkled kind of person, which is pretty fitting for this piece. So that's why you get such a like E major, F minor. The text of the sonnets, as you can imagine, both the outer movements deal with the very, very cold weather, so stamping the feet, chattering of the teeth. Last movement, going skating on the ice, and the ice breaks and you all fall down. The middle movement is rather sweet, and again, what Vivaldi can do with just a string ensemble is rather amazing, because on the top you have the solo violin, then you have 2 lines of violins playing pizzicato, representing the raindrops outside. Then you got this tricky viola line here. They've got to practice that for a long time. Then you got the fire, which is the solo cello part, and then the bass line down the bottom. And I quite like Vivaldi's text at the top here, where he says, basically spending days, contented and relaxing days in front of the fire. Meanwhile, the rain soaks everybody else outside. I quite like that. Obviously, winter, I mean, along with bum 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 in spring, winter has one of the most memorable bits of the Four Seasons. Possibly the most famous sequence in the whole history of music. I think it's rather nice where he says right at the end, this is winter, and such are the joys that it brings. So there you go. And then he follows it with another cracking concerto, La Tempesta di Mare, Storm at Sea, but that's for another day.